Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is our morning update. All right, so we have two articles today. Both seem pretty interesting from the headlines, anyway. The first one is from the New York Post, and the second one will be from the Daily Mail. But before we get into any of that, if you would like to contact me, you could do that at BobbyCapucci@protonmail.com. That's Bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. All right, so let's dive right into these articles. Why waste any more time? The first one is from the New York Post. The headline is, Epstein's ex, Ghislaine Maxwell, coming out of hiding soon. Jeffrey Epstein's alleged madam and pedophile buddy, Ghislaine Maxwell, is finally set to come out of hiding and possibly talk to the FBI, according to a report on Monday. Oh boy, talk to the FBI? She talks to the FBI, I have a funny feeling she'll be getting arrested by the FBI. Unless, of course, they're told, all right, well, hands off, she belongs to intelligence. That's what Acosta was told about Epstein. The British socialite, a.k.a. pedophile, is expected to emerge within days and defend her close friend Prince Andrew in wake of his disastrous interview over his ties to the dead pedophile, a source close to Maxwell's lawyers told The Sun. From bad to worse. Now she's going to come out and co-sign for him? That's a good idea, Andrew. Another person who's who's accused of trafficking and molesting young girls. You're going to have her co-sign for you. Birds of a feather. I thought you didn't speak for each other, though. Isn't that what you said in the interview, Princey? She has to defend herself. She has no option, the source said. Ghislaine is preparing to speak, whether by talking to the FBI or giving a statement to the media. Well, good. She's just opened herself up to the FBI subpoenaing her and bringing her in for questioning. What are they waiting for? Why are they waiting? This article has been out for a few hours now. She should already be arrested. Like I said, they can find terrorists in caves, but they can't find Ghislaine Maxwell. I am sorry, but that dog does not hunt. Maxwell, 57, an ex-girlfriend of Epstein's, has been accused repeatedly in court filings as having procured young girls for the convicted pedophile and even abusing some herself. Oh, and they add that on as like a byline, even abusing some herself. Like it's hard to believe, right? She is reportedly at the center of ongoing investigations into Epstein's alleged sex ring since his death in his Manhattan lockup in August, after which she soon went into hiding, closing down her foundation. Does that sound like an innocent person to you? Does that sound like the actions of an innocent person? Oh, I better close down my shop. I better go into hiding. I better. Come on. She has said to be hiding out in Brazil, close to modeling agent Jean-Luc Brunel, who was also embroiled in the scandal. Maxwell is now ready to speak up, in part to back up the Duke of York's claims that he had no memory of posing for the now infamous photograph, showing him with his arm wrapped around Epstein accuser Virginia Roberts with Maxwell smiling behind them. So you're going to refute the picture just like Andrew? That's your only defense. Look, we have photographic evidence that places her there at the time she says. All right? We have other girls that have come out and said that they were brought to be trafficked to the Duke of York. So we're going to believe Maxwell? So how about this? How about we throw the shoe on the other foot? Remember how Dershowitz destroyed all of the girls from the first case because of their MySpace profiles and how they were sluts, supposedly, or they did drugs? I mean, God forbid, young girls experiment with drugs. But now we got Maxwell who's going to show up and her character is impeccable. Her character can't be destroyed and smashed into smithereens. Oh, yes, it can. And it should be. I don't want to hear about socialite. I don't want to hear about any of this other nonsense. All right? She is as guilty as Epstein was. Like Andrew, she has no memory of it, the source said, of the picture supposedly taken at Maxwell's London home in March 2001. Ghislaine thinks there are a lot of problems with the picture, and it is very fishy. It is one of very few photos that does not bear a time and date stamp. Well, okay. Robert's lawyer, Josh Schiller, shot down any suggestion that the photograph was faked. Virginia maintains that photo of her with Prince Andrew is totally genuine, and it certainly looks genuine to me, Schiller told The Sun. Yeah, it looks genuine to all the experts that have looked at it so far as well. I mean, except for, Prince Andrew's tight circle. I mean, I'm sure he has a bunch of very, very savvy people in his tight circle, considering the way he conducts himself. All right, and our next article is from the Daily Mail. And the headline is pretty explosive, and it kind of goes along with what we've thought on this show, right? Prince Andrew visited Jeffrey Epstein in New York to see if the billionaire pedophile had any dirt on him, Duke's ex claims. Yeah, no crap. Of course that's what he visited there for. He didn't go over there to break up with him because it was the honorable thing to do. Epstein had dirt on him, blackmail material, and Andrew went over there just for that simple reason, because he had to try and mitigate the fallout and see what he could offer Epstein to not release any information on him, etc., for breaking off their relationship. Prince Andrew visited his pedophile friend Jeffrey Epstein in New York to ask him if there was anything he should be worried about, an ex of the royal claims. The woman says the Duke of York confronted the billionaire financier, aka pedophile, during a 4-day trip to his Manhattan mansion in the U.S. city in 2010. Visitors have previously spoken about how the property in the U.S. city had hidden cameras covering bedrooms and toilets. Oh, well, everyone's on board now, huh? We were talking about this when this all first started. We were talking about the insane amount of surveillance footage that Epstein had in his homes. We were talking about all of this for months now. The ex said Andrew wanted to see if he had anything dodgy. He asked if there was anything he should be worried about and received categorical assurances that the matter was closed and nothing exists in the way of recordings or pictures. Oh, so let me go talk to my pedophile buddy, risk my whole entire image being blown out of the water because I wanted to do the honorable thing. Does that sound like a likely scenario? Or Epstein had blackmail information on him and he panicked and flew across the ocean and didn't give a shit about his image at that point because he was trying to save his freedom. Or does that seem more plausible to you? I'm going to go with option 2. She told The Sun, if it wasn't for that, Andrew wouldn't have hesitated to end the friendship over the phone. He does that sort of thing all the time. Yeah, no, of course he does. No grown-ass man is flying across the ocean to tell a pedophile, well, we can't be buddies anymore. My mummy told me I can't be buddies with you anymore. What is even going on right now? The prince continued to be friends with Epstein despite him being convicted of child sex offenses in 2008. They were pictured together walking through Central Park in New York 2 years later. Aw, a little walk and talk. Isn't that cute? Prince Andrew told the BBC in his disastrous Newsnight interview that he was only visiting to break off his friendship with Epstein. Okay, sure, pal. The ex's claims emerged days after the prince announced he was stepping back from public duties for the foreseeable future. Yes, stepping back, more like sacked from all of those duties. The Prince of Wales ain't having it. This dude showed up like gangbusters. Prince Andrew is never, ever coming back into public life, folks, no matter what he or his camp thinks. The royal is also facing calls to be interviewed by the FBI over his links to the pedophile financier, and the pressure is likely to mount next week when the BBC broadcasts a fresh interview with Virginia Roberts, who claims she was coerced into having sex with him after being flown to the UK by Epstein in 2001. Huh. Asked if she believes the Duke's account of his association with Epstein, in the Newsnight interview she added, at first yes, but then I had this creeping feeling of doubt. That turned into feeling sick, I mean really sick, at the realization that he could have been messing about with those girls at the same time as something me. S, bunch of stars, sacking me? I don't know. Another ex of Andrew, Lady Victoria Hervey, who dated him in 1999, has previously said she has felt watched when staying at Epstein's mansion. All right, how many people have to come out and say this now? How many people have to come out and say it? We've had law enforcement officials say the same thing. This guy's houses were, all of his residents were just covered with cameras and different devices for recording these trysts that these men were on. That was the whole entire motivation behind these cameras and these residents and inviting these people there, to get them caught up in the honeypot. They come, they have sex with whoever they think is of age or is willing, and then they come to find out, well, oh no, she's not of age. And that is the intelligence agencies have been running these sort of scams forever. Yesterday, it was reported that Andrew invited Ghislaine Maxwell, 57, who was accused of procuring underage girls for Epstein and helping him rape some of them, to Buckingham Palace this June 2 weeks after the FBI launched a new investigation. All right, so we talked about that in last night's Daily Drop, right? How they were huddled up, how she was there for some sort of rally, air quotes, and they ended up huddling up together to figure out their game plan, right? What their strategy was going to be going forward, and we see that their strategy isn't very good. Billionaire Epstein was found dead in jail in August. Maxwell, the daughter of disgraced newspaper tycoon Robert Maxwell, is said to be ready to come out of hiding and defend herself and Prince Andrew, who denies any wrongdoing. A source told The Sun, Ghislaine is preparing to speak, whether by talking to the FBI or giving a statement to the media. She better give a statement to the media, because if she talks to the FBI, if the FBI finds her and they don't arrest her, I honestly don't even know what to say about that. She has to defend herself. She has no option. She will have to address this guilt by association. Oh my God. Is she really going to stick to this? Nobody could possibly believe her, right? I'm sure nobody believes her. Maxwell is also claiming that a photo that shows her and Prince Andrew posing together with Virginia Roberts, who has said she had sex with the prince when she was 17, may have been doctored. Okay. The photo was reportedly taken at Maxwell's London home in March of 2001. A source told The Sun that Maxwell has no memory of it. Boy, they all have short memories, huh? They didn't see nothing, they didn't hear nothing, they didn't say nothing. All they do is participate. They either have to be the biggest group of dummies in the history of the world, or it's a huge cabal of sick and disgusting sex traffickers. I highly doubt they're a bunch of dummies, so that leaves us with what? A source told The Sun that Maxwell has no memory of it. The source added Maxwell thinks the photo is fishy because it is one of the very few photos that does not bear a time and a date stamp. This week, the Prince of Wales is reportedly set to demand a showdown with his younger brother over the continued fallout from the Newsnight interview. The Prince, who returns from a 12-day tour to India, New Zealand, and the Solomon Islands, is expected to order the Duke of York to Clarence House. Uh-oh, I think that means he's about to get grounded. Clarence House, huh? Sounds like big trouble. Is that like in Game of Thrones? You get called to the Red Keep, show up and Ilan Payne is there to chop off your head? That's basically what it's looking like right here. I mean, obviously not an execution, but might as well be an execution because he is being completely and utterly jettisoned from public life. Once the Queen Mother passes away, and she is 93, once she passes away and the crown goes to Charles and his son is the crown prince, I'll tell you what, Prince Andrew has even less of a chance of ever being involved because there's a big rift between all of them right now, it seems. And the Prince of Wales certainly isn't going to let the royal's name be dragged in the mud any more than it already has. Right? That's once again, let's be real. All these people care about is their image. So Andrew, see you later, buddy. Go talk to the FBI. You're in big trouble. It's like, it's like Jeff Probst in Survivor after, you're on the losing team. I ain't got nothing for you. See you back at camp. That's pretty much Andrew right now. So, and he deserves every minute of it. I couldn't be happier to see his disgrace, his downfall. And everybody else who was involved in this nonsense, who has been credibly acclaimed in the court documents, take note, because your time is certainly coming. All right, if you would like to get in contact with me, you could do that at BOBBYCAPUCCI. That's at protonmail.com, excuse me. That's Bobbycapucci at protonmail.com. If you would like to make a donation to the show and help support the show, the link for our GoFundMe can be found in the description box. All right, folks, hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you later on tonight.